Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another TradingView update. There's been no real change in Bitcoin and Ethereum over the last 24 hours, with key support and resistance levels that we've identified over the last few days still valid and still waiting to be tested in either direction. In the meantime, I thought we'd look at two altcoins that OSL does offer as well that are both interesting in their own right and have seen some pretty crazy price action either immediately in the short term or over the last year. First, we'll look at OGN, which since the 13th of March has rallied almost 240%. If we look at the overall price structure, you could argue that we've actually been in some sort of bear market for this coin since May of last year or even April of last year, where you just have where's my brush? Where you just have this downward trending price level. Here it is. So you have this inability to break through previous highs. You've got this downward trending support. Price is moving lower and lower and lower at this kind of key level of support at 0.51 to 51 cents, ultimately capitulating and is now slowly starting to make its way back up. So you could argue again, this is something that we see across Bitcoin and across plenty of other altcoins. You could argue that we're almost at a level now where the bear market for this coin might actually be at its end. If we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement levels from the low from the 20th of from the December 2020 and the high of April of last year, we can see how Fibonacci levels have acted as key areas of resistance and support. 0.236, the ultimate backstop at 23 cents or 24 cents essentially. Since then, we're moving higher. We're now finding support of the 0.5. If we actually look at the most actively traded levels for this coin, zoom in a little bit, what's been most recent, we can see that with prices essentially, the most actively traded area in around 38 cents, acted as resistance, has now acted as support. So there's been a pretty key level since that capitulation that took place at the beginning of this year. If we want to see prices move higher and start to attack 90 cents, which would be the 0.618 level, we need to see that volume power coming back in and continuing to buy up coins in the market. We don't want to see a case where volume starts to tail off, because that would imply the interest is not returned for the long run. Just to give you an idea, so OGN currently has a market cap of, where are we, down here, 318 million dollars. So it's still a relatively small coin. 3x from here is not implausible. Put it into the top 100 coins, but still below its competitors such as Chili's and Engine that are trading at 1.6 billion market cap. We want to see this price break higher. But again, if we start to move above 90 cents, that target or short-term target of 163 actually isn't that far away, and the move from here to 163 would be a 3x. If we look at the coin versus Bitcoin, it's very important to always look at for these smaller alts, you want to look at how the coin is performing relative to Bitcoin. If it's not performing as well, you might as well just hold Bitcoin. If it's outperforming, it could be interesting to load up on more of it. Now, on this chart, whilst we've had this similar sort of bear market structure, we actually, if we look at the trend line, seen this broken and retested. So this level here, actually, 1,250 sats, would actually potentially have been a very interesting buy opportunity for this coin. If this level does indeed hold, then we would look to see this bullish momentum start to increase. And what this means, if this chart goes up because it's versus Bitcoin, you know that OGN will outperform Bitcoin in the immediate future. In validation of this bullish momentum, would have to see this current price level not being broken through again. Let's zoom in a little bit. If we start to see price is attempting to, but ultimately failing to hold it and start to make its way back down, then you know that this was just a short-term hype, and that the bull run against Bitcoin is likely not going to continue in the immediate term. If we start to attack this 0.618 level again, we may well be on, and this would be, we definitely will keep an eye on this coin because it does seem very interesting. If we move to another coin, Link. Let's go to Link. Again, this had a horrible time over the last year. Link was one of those coins that was actually growing exponentially for almost 3 years. In a world of its own, not really too bothered about what was happening in the rest of the crypto market space. I'll show you exactly what I mean. We had this log channel, which essentially shows, exponential growth. This was in place since April of 2018. So crazy run for Link. We finally broke out of this channel in December of last year, attempted to break back in, couldn't, and since then we've been correcting lower. As you can see, similar to OGN, we've had this crucial level of support come in at around actually where we are now. So we had this kind of crucial level of support here. We had resistance, downward trending resistance coming in here as well. So this sort of structure, again, similar sort of bear market structure where you just have decreasing prices working their way down. If we do see some sort of crazy capitulation event for Link, I think that two things need to happen. We need to see the entire crypto market capitulate. So this wouldn't be kind of a unique thing to Link. But again, if we do capitulate, then key level of support for me is around $5 or $4.50 down here, which is in fact the previous all-time high back in 2019, even in March 2020. If we can draw that in actually, just to make it a bit clearer. You're looking at this kind of 5.04 level as key area of support, which would present a prime buying opportunity for Link. Immediately in the short term, what else can be said? We've got, we're still in this downward trending parallel channel, right? The interesting thing at this current level is that we're actually at a pretty crucial area of resistance. We can see how this level has acted as resistance in the past. We had resistance, resistance, support, 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 resistance, and now resistance again. So very key level. If we can actually break through this and start to attack that local top from the 7th of February at $19.55, we may well be in a good position and see this downward trend broken. I would say that the 50-week moving average as well coming in here has acted as a pretty key level of resistance and support in the past. If we do continue to move high, I'll be interested to see what happens in and around this level. So at 24.27. Time to buy Link. I would probably argue if we do break this, I think we'll test the top of this channel, come back down. If we are then back at $17 and can hold this level, then it would make sense to look to buy Link and add it to your portfolio. Again, if we start to look at Link as or Link's price action compared to Bitcoin, we can see absolutely rough time, no real fun. It's in that classic bear market structure here, which hopefully will start to be tested again to the upside. If we see this structure broken through, test as support, then this area, this price area here, wherever that may be along the curve, would be an interesting time to buy more Link, as it was likely that it will outperform Bitcoin if we start to move back in this direction here. Again, we want to see volume start to increase. They've been trailing off ever since the high of August 2020. So really prolonged time period structure. You can see that there's still room for it to meander sideways as well. But this area of resistance, this downward trending resistance line, really crucial. When we break through this, we do expect Link to find some renewed wind and begin to outperform Bitcoin. That's it from us this morning. Have a good trading day.